Have you ever wondered if there are any pieces of land that no country claims? While we often associate national borders with defined territories and boundaries, there exist enigmatic areas scattered across the planet that remain unclaimed and unrecognized by any nation. These unclaimed lands, known as terra nullius, present puzzles that challenge our understanding of sovereignty and territoriality, from remote islands to sections of deserts and even polar regions. There are intriguing examples of places that have slipped through the cracks of international recognition. There's an area of land between Egypt and Sudan that nobody wants and has been unclaimed by either nation. The 795 square miles of land in the shape of a trapezoid called Bir Tawil is mostly desert and mountains and has no appreciable natural resources. This leaves Bir Tawil as an ownerless, unwanted piece of land. Bir Tawil's strange status results from a curious quirk in international relations, meaning that neither Sudan nor Egypt has ever claimed it. The anomaly dates back to 1899, when the British Empire, not surprising, drew a line between the Nubian Desert after the Mahdist War with Sudan. The political boundary included Bir Tawil within Sudan's border. At the same time, a large wedge of potentially resource-rich land on the Red Sea, known as the Halaib Triangle, fell within Egypt's mandate. Britain made the decision to alter the border it had established only a few years earlier in 1902. This time, the Halaib Triangle ended in Sudanese territory, where Bir Tawil ended up inside Egyptian territory. Unsurprisingly, both nations have only ever recognized the boundary arrangement that gave them the Halaib Triangle, leaving Bir Tawil as a geographical anomaly that has never been claimed by any government with international recognition. The largest unclaimed territory on Earth is in Antarctica. Marie Byrd Land, a 620,000 square mile collection of glaciers and rock formations, lies in the western portion of the southernmost continent. Despite its size and potential resources, no country has staked a formal claim to this icy expanse. But unlike Bir Tawil, this landmass is actually rich with resources. So why is it still unclaimed? The answer is actually quite simple. Because of its remoteness, no nation has ever claimed it. With temperatures that never get close to going above freezing, this is hardly the perfect location for launching a paradisical kingdom. Violent snowstorms frequently ravage the landscape, and the sun cannot be seen for months. So it's almost impossible to send humans to construct settlements. But what if I told you that there is a piece of land with perfect temperature, is accessible, and you won't have to worry about getting eaten by a polar bear? In fact, you might even consider it for your next vacation because of its alluring natural beauty. After all, it's in the center of Europe. In the heart of the Balkans, nestled between Serbia and Croatia, lies a piece of land that has remained largely untouched and unnoticed for decades. As the world witnesses rapid urbanization, economic growth, and an insatiable appetite for real estate, it may seem perplexing as to why this particular tract of land has failed to attract any interested parties. While the region boasts breathtaking landscapes and a rich historical heritage, it languishes in obscurity, begging the question, why doesn't anybody want this piece of land? It all comes down to a border dispute. See, in the 1800s, all of Central Europe was under one major power, the Austro-Hungarians. Different regions of the empire were divided by the Croatian-Hungarian Agreement of 1868. The Danube River served as the boundary between Serbia, an Ottoman Empire province, and Croatia, a province of the empire. Both Serbia and Croatia joined the newly created Yugoslavia following World War I. With the exception of a brief German military occupation during World War II, Yugoslavia remained a united state until it disintegrated in 1991. Serbia and Croatia had achieved independence by the middle of the 1990s. Theoretically, the Danube was still the border between the two countries. However, the Danube's course has shifted throughout the years due to engineering projects carried out in the 19th century, which was designed to straighten the course of the Danube. This created little pockets of Serbian and Croatian land, ending outside the national borders. This presented a problem for the Communist Commission, which would have had to draw a snake-like border between the two republics to match the ethnic boundaries. However, It was decided that the Danube River itself would serve as the boundary for all intents and purposes. Due to the fact that both Serbia and Croatia were a part of the Socialist Federal Republic of Yugoslavia, this initially did not pose a difficulty. However, the question of the borders between the newly independent states resurfaced following the dissolution of Yugoslavia in 1991. As a result, the Badinter Commission was established by the Council of Ministers of the European Economic Community to offer guidance on the legal matters associated with the breakup of Yugoslavia. The Commission used the uti possidetis principle of international law. According to this principle, the established internal borders that had existed in Yugoslavia would now become the international borders of the newly independent countries, a decision to which Serbia and Croatia nominally consented. The area is about 7 square kilometers, twice the size of New York Central Park, most of which is covered with forests. According to people living in the vicinity, a journalist from the Czech newspaper who visited the area in April 2015 found a house that had been abandoned for about 30 years. The access road was reported to be in bad condition. Delving into socio-political complexities, historical events, and regional dynamics can give us a better idea on why this land is not claimed by both the countries. It's this tiny parcel that is claimed by no country. Why? Because Croatia still contends that several sections of land now to the east of the Danube belong to it. Naturally, Serbia disputes this assertion. From Serbia's standpoint, the border is still the Danube River as it is today, not how it looked in the 1860s. Therefore, the unclaimed piece of land to the west of the river is rightfully a part of Croatia. Croatia does not claim this land because it would mean acknowledging the Danube River as the official border between them and Serbia. This would result in Croatia losing all claims to the most valuable lands east of the river. The dispute over this border has been ongoing for a long time, a phenomenon known as the Longueuil Dury, as coined by French historian Fernand Braudel. The dispute first arose in 1947, but was never resolved during Yugoslavia's existence. To make matters more complicated, many people have tried to make a claim on this property. In April 2015, Vít Jedlička, a member of the Czech Party of Free Citizens, declared the creation of a new country called Liberland on unclaimed land between Croatia and Serbia. On April 15th, he planted his newly designed yellow and black flag in the territory, declaring the area the Free Republic of Liberland, and started inviting people to become citizens of the newly found nation. With a mission to establish a society based on personal freedom, voluntary cooperation, and minimal government interference, Liberland has captured the attention of those seeking alternative systems and approaches to governance. However, the claim was rejected by the Croatian Ministry of Foreign and European Affairs, which argued that the disputed border between Serbia and Croatia did not classify as terra nullius, meaning it could not be occupied by a third party. On the other hand, the Serbian Ministry of Foreign Affairs has stated that while they do not consider Liberland significant, the new state does not affect the Serbian border, which is defined by the Danube River. Anyone attempting to enter through land or sea was detained and punished by Croatia. When the president attempted to enter Liberland from Croatia, he was also detained and fined. Compare this dispute with a similar situation between Illinois and Missouri. Kaskaskia was the capital of the Illinois Territory until Illinois became a state in 1818. After the Great Flood of 1844, the Mississippi River shifted, leaving the former capital west of the Mississippi River. Even so, the town and its people were, and still are, legally part of Illinois and continue to vote in Illinois elections. However, they have Missouri addresses. The only access is from the Missouri side. In other words, we don't want it, but no one else can have it. And there seems to be no resolution in sight as neither country wants to claim the land. But they don't want to recognize the sovereignty of Liberland. But the matter will always remain fluid as with any border disputes. Ultimately, the two countries are unlikely to agree to a piece of land in the Danube. For now, the two countries remain in a limbo regarding their border disputes. Make sure to let us know your thoughts down below. Subscribe to the channel as a sacrifice to the gods of the algorithm. And thanks for watching.